What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the show. Aew Dynasty happened last night, and it was a great pay-per-view, in my opinion, with really only one miserably bad call that we will get into. Apologize for my voice being a little hoarse this morning. Long night, and I may or may not have went completely insane during the night. Especially during the Ospreay and Danielson match. By the way, my favorite match on the card, and one that I will be rewatching over and over and over again for years to come. Let's get into this. So last night, Jack Perry, that's right, Scapegoat Jack Perry, returned and helped the Young Bucks win the tag titles for the third time in their careers. The Scapegoat Jack Perry is back. He came through the crowd in the mask. And I'm excited to see what they do with Jack Perry. I'm excited to see how they book Jack Perry. I really hope they book him well. But we'll see how that goes. Also, guys, Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. I've said it before. Bryan Danielson is my all-time favorite professional wrestler. All time. I love him. Will Ospreay is my favorite current wrestler wrestling today. I love Will Ospreay. I've always loved Will Ospreay. I will always come to the defense of Will Ospreay. That match will feed wrestling generations for years to come. Like, if I ever have kids, I'm going to show them that match and say that match is professional wrestling. It was a great match, a 10 out of 10 match. I'd put it's behind the Mania match with Cody, and I said that was one of the best matches I'd ever seen. As far as the spectacle part, Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, they didn't need a story. The story was in the ring. The story was in the match, and they absolutely killed it and crushed it. It was fantastic. Loved it. Young Bucks versus FTR. I was not looking forward to Young Bucks versus FTR at all. Like at all. Not one part of me really was like, I want this match. This is the match that I want. I want to watch this. It was actually a good match. It was a really good match. I thought the Young Bucks and FTR did a great job working until Perry got in, and that's when I really cared. But yeah, it was a good match. Fantastic match. I'd say it was not the best match on the card, obviously, Ospreay and Danielson. But for a ladder match, for a tag team ladder match, it was a suitable ladder match. And again, the Young Bucks are now the new AEW tag team champions. Now we're getting into the fun part. Jericho versus Hook. I love Hook. I'm a fan of Hook's dad, who is Taz. I'm a fan of Hook. Here's my problem. Why in the blue hell are we going to have Jericho beat Hook? There's no point in Jericho beating Hook for a title that AEW has said we don't even recognize. There were chants of Fozzy sucks, fuck you Jericho, please retire, and Jericho go home during the match. And yet, for some reason, Tony Khan didn't pull an audible and say, hey, Hook beat Jericho. I don't understand. Why does Tony Khan continue to try to force us to like Jericho? Get this through your head, AEW. We're not going to like him. We don't like Chris Jericho at all. Not one part of us does. Nobody in wrestling likes Chris Jericho. Not a fan, not a talent, nobody. If they say they like Chris Jericho, they're lying. Nobody likes Jericho. So that match almost made me turn off the pay-per-view. That match almost made me turn off the pay-per-view because I was so pissed off and so mad about Jericho beating Hook. It was so stupid and ridiculous and didn't need to happen. But the main event, and then Ospreay and Danielson kind of saved the pay-per-view. Swerve beat Samoa Joe. Sorry. I love Swerve Strickland. I've been a fan of Swerve Strickland for a long time. Him beating Samoa Joe to become the first ever African-American AEW World Champion was absolutely incredible. And it was a great match. They made you think Swerve was going to lose, but Swerve ended up finishing his story. He beat Samoa Joe. Congratulations to Swerve. I can't wait to see how they book him in this. I'm thinking Swerve and Ospreay it all in. That's how I'm kind of looking at it from a long-term perspective. In August, do we get Swerve and Ospreay? And then does MJF come back in Double or Nothing? Do we get Swerve and MJF maybe? I don't know how they're going to book it, but this is going to be an incredible show. And it was a great match. Swerve absolutely deserves it. Swerve is your new AEW World Champion. Willow Nightingale beat Julia Hart for the TBS Championship. Now, I love Julia Hart, and I loved her reign, but it was okay for it to end to Willow. Because we're going to get Willow versus Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing, and I'm excited for that match. I like Willow a lot. I think she's a really decent wrestler. I think Mercedes is a great talent, obviously. I love her. I think Julia will go on probably to fight for the Women's Championship, which I'll get to in a minute because I'm very confused. But yeah, it was all overall just a really good match. Really good match. But it was kind of also quick. But Willow beating Julia, I have no problems with that. Julia will come back. She's already tweeted like a new profile picture. She'll come back with a great character and a great story. I don't think she stays in the TBS title picture. I think she moves up to the women's world title picture because I think she's good enough now, as young as she is. She's good enough now. She's got the title experience. She's got the championship experience. They can move her to that women's championship picture, and nobody's going to be mad about it. Will Ospreay on the post-show press conference addressed the grind comments that Triple H had made during Mania weekend. He was asked about it, okay? He didn't just start the press conference with, let's talk about this. He was asked about it, okay? For all you WWE fans that are going to say, oh, Triple H is living rent-free in Will Ospreay's head. No, he's not. He was asked about it. Ospreay was asked. He answered, it's okay. But he kind of said, basically, that he doesn't need to talk about people that are below him. The actual quote was, I don't need to give a fuck about people below me, or I don't need to fuck with people below me, something like that. I agree. Ospreay's great. He doesn't need to put himself to that standard of talking about Triple H, of talking about people in WWE. You know, he's a great talent. He doesn't need to lower himself to that standard of talking about. And look, I'm a WWE guy. I love WWE, but I also love AEW. I'm not saying that either company was wrong here, but Ospreay answered the question like an adult would. And he's also very worried about Bryan Danielson, who is a sell. He's selling, but injured his shoulder last night. So Will says he's going to retire the Tiger Driver finisher or maneuver. So that sucks because I love that move and I don't think Will does it the best, but okay. Okada versus Pac. Okada versus Pac was exactly what it needed to be. It was a great professional wrestling match between a great wrestler and another great wrestler. Okada, it almost seemed like, or after the match, my bad, Pac kind of seemed like he's leaving AEW. I don't know if that's the case. The audience gave him a standing ovation, and he kind of soaked it in, took a moment to soak it in. I really hope he doesn't leave AEW, because I love him. But if he does and he goes back to WWE, I think they'll book him properly. But the fans chanted, he's our bastard at Pac. If you don't know, Pac is the bastard of AEW. So I love Pac, and I think him and Okada could have a great story if they continue it. And Toni Storm beat Thunder Rosa in a good enough match, but nothing great. It wasn't a great match. It was just okay, in my opinion. I liked it. I liked it better than Julia versus Willow, as far as the standpoint of time. I did feel like it is what it is, you know. It was a match. It was a wrestling match between Toni Storm and Willow. Toni Storm retained. Which brings me to this. Tony Khan, what are we going to do? Because you don't have Britt Baker back on TV. You don't have Jamie Hayter back yet. Mariah May might be the one to take the title off of Toni Storm, but she's not ready. And she won't be ready probably for another 6 months. Mercedes is in the TBS title picture. Yeah, you can move Julia up and put her in that, but she's going to have to lose a few times to Thunder or to Toni before you actually have somebody take the title off of her. If it's Julia that does it, I'm extremely concerned because without Britt Baker, without Jamie Hayter, without Mercedes in that picture, without Deonna Purrazzo, Deonna's in the picture, but she's not going to take the title off Toni Storm. They've already made that clear. Thunder Rosa was really our only chance to get the title off Toni Storm going into the summer, and it's not happening. We're not getting it, and I don't understand why, because Toni Storm would make a great champion. Toni Storm has made a great champion, but Thunder Rosa being champion would make a lot of sense unless Jamie's coming back. If Jamie Hayter is coming back, then you have Jamie take the title off of Thunder Rosa. But Britt Baker, if she's coming back, or not Thunder Rosa, you have Jamie take the title off Toni Storm. Britt Baker, if she's coming back, you have her maybe take the title as, revenge for Toni injuring Jamie. Like, it's just very weird to me, and I'm very confused on how they're going to do this. I really, 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 really hope that it is Britt Baker that takes the title, because I want to see. You could maybe do Saraya and Britt. You could go back to that. You could do Mercedes and Britt after Mercedes' TBS title run, which I do think she's winning the TBS title at Double or Nothing. I do think Willow is unfortunately just going to be a transitional champion for AEW. I think this was a way to not have Julia lose to Mercedes, because I think that would hurt her more than Willow beating her. But you could put Chris Statlander in the women's title picture, but she doesn't really need to be there. She's already in the TBS title picture, and she's really not good enough to be in the women's title picture yet. I don't know what I don't know what you do. I genuinely don't know what they're gonna do with that. It worries me a little bit, because Toni Storm is great. Toni Storm is great. Timeless Toni Storm is great. The only one I can see outside of Britt and Jamie now taking that title off of Toni is Mariah May. And Mariah turns on Toni. I could see that. But Mariah's not really ready for a women's title run yet. So it's a big thing, but we got to figure it out. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about this video, how you felt about AEW Dynasty, which I loved. In fact, I'm probably going to rewatch the Ospreay match again, because I was like a little kid on Christmas last night when Ospreay and Danielson fought, man. It was a dream come true for me. I love those two. Let me know in the comment section what you think about what you thought about the match, and make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. It's completely free to do so. Also, follow me on my TikTok, but this is going to be exclusively for YouTube only. This Dynasty review. I'm doing little clips on TikTok. I'm going to start doing more reviews for YouTube as I would TikTok. But follow me on my TikTok if you want to hear my short takes. Also, guys, I'm now on the Next Level app, so go follow me at Nick Beasley Sports on Next Level. And follow me on TikTok at Nick. Hold on. I'm just going to make sure I have it right here. At Nick Beasley Sports on TikTok as well. But remember, guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment your favorite moments from Dynasty. Comment if you think I missed on something I could have talked about from the show. And thank you guys all for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It is completely free. I will never ask any of you to pay to watch my content. Thank you. Love y'all.